welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to use rice paper and make this translucent pink flower. Let's get started. So I'm going to use a flower wire. I cut them into half. It was originally 6" and I made it 3". It's about 12 wires. And then I'm going to make my petals. Cut it into 4 pieces and I trimmed my edges in zigzag shape. I'm going to make 2 flowers, but I know I'm going to use 5 petals for each of them, but I wanted to have some extra just in case if it breaks or something happens, I can have an extra piece to cover that up. So always I try to prepare some extra. So today I made 12 petals. And I prepared a warm water about 70 Fahrenheit, it's around 21-22 Celsius. And I add rose color food coloring from Wilton. This food coloring is really strong and vivid, so try to add little by little. And I also prepared some food coloring on my plate to color them later. It's rose and burgundy and Kelly green color. My petals were getting curvy, it means it's ready to be used, so I took them out and placed it on my parchment paper. And I also have a silicone pad underneath the parchment paper to support and add some curves on my paper. So you can either use silicone pad or put a ball underneath the parchment paper to add some curves on your petals. And once your petals are all nicely placed on your parchment paper, start painting with rose and burgundy color. I mixed both colors together and I started painting the edges, and I wet my brush and then blend into the petals to make it more natural. If you're done with painting the edges, use Kelly green and a little bit of burgundy color to make a darker Kelly green and start painting the other side of your petal. These color palettes are slightly different than my other flower works, but I thought it'll be fun to have some bright and pop neon color flowers, so today is one of those new color palettes. Once you're done coloring all your petals, start adding the flower wire to each petal. It's much more easier and efficient to add the wires when your petals are still wet. I'm using my tweezer to pick up the rice paper and wrap it around my wire, and I also just pinch it and then leave the wire and it'll just stay still. I wanted to fix my silicone pad to add more curves, so I'm going to just put my cup over there to add more curvy lines to my parchment paper. So now I'm pretty satisfied with my petals. I'm gonna let them dry overnight and I'll check tomorrow. So this is my next day. I had no damage at all. Everything peeled off nice and easily, and my petals were relatively flat because I didn't add more crinkles underneath my petals, but since I air dried it, it just peeled off easily and everything is delicate and nice. It's ready to use. Now I'm going to make the structure and stamen. I'm using this lollipop sticks today. And also I'm going to make a bulb shape on top of my stick. So you can use any piece of wafer paper. You can also use leftover like small piece of wafer paper if you have. Just roll the tip of your stick and make some structure. We're going to add more later, but right now I'm going to just make a little structure on my sticks. So for the actual stamen part, I made this design using a longer leaf shape. So cut some wafer paper into a long leaf shape. It's like an oval, like a leaf shape. And I probably like cut around 12 to 14 pieces. So once it's prepared, place it on your parchment paper and then we're going to color them. Guys, I'm sorry my camera was off while I was coloring. Anyway, I used Kelly green and moss green to color these leaves, and while I was drawing them, I made my bulb a little bit bigger. I used this piece of wafer paper and soaked it in the vodka and color them with the green color that you were using, green and yellow, and made it a little bit more natural. And I add the stick and wrap the tip part. So my leaves are almost dried. If you can peel it easily, it means it's dried. If it's still wet, just let it dry for another minute and start with the dried leaves. Wet your bulb a little bit with the vodka and pick one of the dried leaves and glue them around. I'm going to use this 3M magic tape and flower tape together to assemble my flower, and I found a missing spot on my bulb, so I add another piece of leaf. So my stamen is ready. I'm going to just prepare my tape. Now I'm going to gather the petals and tape them. Once you're starting to tape it, try to align the wire and the stick together. Also with the second petal, try to see how it looks with the stamen and see if you have to bend or adjust the wire. And once it's fixed, you can tape it with the magic tape and work on with the third petal. So after adding all 5 petals, you can finally wrap it with the flower tape. So what I will do is wrap right underneath where the rice paper ends and where the wire starts, so you can cover the white wires. Also, after wrapping this part, you can paint the white wire so you won't able to see it. There are a few things that I really love about these flowers. So the material is translucent. You can put any colors and it'll just come out so beautiful. And also the flower itself, it's so lightweight, so it won't affect any weight on your cake. Also, you can keep it for a longer time. Just control the humidity. You can just put it in a container with a silica gel, or you can just leave it outside if your room temperature and humidity is right. Now my pink translucent flowers are ready. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll come up with more tutorials, so please subscribe my channel. I'll see you in the next one.